So right now, Bitcoin is at all-time highs, and we're about to enter one of the most exciting phases for the Bitcoin price. This is going to be the topic of the video, and we're going to be uncovering what's going to be happening next and some price targets that we can be anticipating for Bitcoin. But yeah, right now, it looks like we're actually playing out this Livermore strategy right now that's actually playing out, called the accumulation cylinder, and this is looking extremely good. So make sure to be staying tuned, because not only do I have this accumulation cylinder lined up for you guys, I have a lot of different charts also and a lot of different scenarios for the longer term. So we're going to be looking at what's going to be happening. We're going to be seeing the timing of the cycle and some price targets too. And I'm also going to be covering Ethereum that's actually breaking out in the short term. I'm going to be looking at what's going to be happening for Ethereum. I'm going to be looking at this bull flag breakout that we're actually getting, and a lot more to come. So make sure to be staying tuned till the end. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight away in towards this banger. Bow. So looking at that short term for Bitcoin, we've been absolutely pumping from this level of support that we've been highlighting on the channel. We actually created a double bottom formation pattern, and we've actually reached the target, which was in and around 125k and 126k, which is looking quite good. But right now, that's the exact target that we actually talked about, and we actually highlighted that the support level was going to be held. Unlike other channels that were actually getting bearish, other people that were getting bearish, we were actually staying bullish. We were saying that as long as we hold this horizontal level of support, we're going to be moving towards the upside. So that's really good to be seeing. And not only were we actually talking about that, we talked about this similar fractal that we actually playing out from 2024. So you can see on the right hand side of the screen over here that Bitcoin is actually playing out this inverse head and shoulders that we had in 2024, and right now that's the exact fractal that's playing out, and we're actually pumping to new all-time highs. And this was in and around the time that Trump actually got elected, and yeah, this actually led to Bitcoin move to new highs, and right now that's looking like it's the same case. Right now the narrative is actually different. It's more of the seasonality that's leading Bitcoin to actually move towards the upside, but we can actually anticipate further price developments just like we did previously. So speaking about the seasonality, we can observe that we're in the month of October, and right now October is actually classed as October, which indicates that price action usually closes very green and towards the upside most of the time in October. As you can see on the screen, you can see out of all the months, only 2 of them were red and the rest were actually green, and the average is about 20% towards the upside. So that's actually looking extremely good. And we can look at our previous 2 years right now, and you can see that every time that October starts, this actually marks the parabolic phase, and it has not failed this year. We had the 1st of October actually happen, and right now we're actually moving towards the upside, just like we've been predicting on the channel. So congratulations if you've been taking advantage of this information, because again, I'm going to be explaining why we can see further price developments towards the upside. So make sure to be staying tuned for that. But the previous 2 rallies in 2023 and in 2024 actually led to a very bullish Q4. So it wasn't just October that was bullish, it was November and also December, which was actually extremely good to be seeing. So right now we can expect the same thing, that the rally is only getting started, and October, November and December is going to be extremely bullish. But looking at the short term, we can see that we're actually clearing our resistance levels so far, and we're actually trading at new all-time highs. So this is looking really good, and we don't have any resistance above us. So at the minute, it's looking like we're going to continue towards the upside as long as we can close this daily candle in the same fashion. And that would actually indicate that, yeah, the strength from Bitcoin is not to be faded, and we can potentially continue towards the upside. Now, one reason I'm actually very bullish on Bitcoin right now is the fact that we're actually following gold. Although we were lagging gold, I did highlight on the channel so many times that Bitcoin was going to be catching up, and that's exactly what we're seeing so far. We can see previously that gold actually moves parabolic first, whilst Bitcoin actually tends to lag in the summer. But when we enter Q4, we actually go parabolic and catch up. And that was the same thing. In Q3, we were actually lagging gold. We were actually chopping in this range. And then now we're breaking out towards the upside. It's likely we can actually catch up to what gold has done. And gold has been performing extremely good right now. So that's exactly why I do think the Bitcoin is going to be catching up in the same fashion, and we're going to be moving towards the upside. Now, looking at these Fibonacci's, we can see that if you actually take the Fibonacci from the top of the last cycle to the bear market lows, and you actually have the 1.65, you have the 2, and then you have the 2.618. These are the 3 Fibonacci retracement tools that have actually marked the top previously. So you can see right here in January, it actually capped price, and you can see the 2 Fibonacci right now was a lot of resistance in our range in August, and now we're actually breaking above that. So the next one we can actually look at is the one at 155k, which is a 2618, and this is the next Fibonacci that we actually may find some resistance at. So this is one price level to be watching, and it actually matches up with the accumulation cylinder. So of course the accumulation cylinder is just a visual representation of what price can do, and it's likely that we can actually move towards the upside in and around 155k, and that's where we can actually find some sort of top, and maybe we can come down. The thing is, we can actually shoot up a little bit higher as a wick, and then we can come down as well. So again, we have to be observing how price action reacts around this level, but I do think that we're going to be finding the next resistance point at 155. So this is one level that I'm going to be watching very carefully as Bitcoin moves up. But the thing is, we're actually running out of time. So you can see right now we have the Bitcoin halvings, which is the vertical orange dashed lines on the screen. That's the Bitcoin halving, and we can actually see that it's projected about 500 days in the future, and this actually predicts your tops. And it predicted your top since 2013. It also predicted your top in 2017 and also in 2021. So right now, I do think that it's going to be predicting the timing for the top, which is going to be within the next 3 to 6 weeks. So we need to be very, very careful as Bitcoin continues to new all-time highs, and we need to be actually wary. So if Bitcoin starts to actually move towards 155k, I think this is one level that we can be watching. And the reason for that is the fact that we're actually reaching our timing cycle top, where we can actually expect Bitcoin to actually top out very soon. But of course, I do think that this is going to be one of the most parabolic phases that we're entering. So I'm not going to be bearish, and my bias is actually going to be bullish for Q4. So let's see what's going to be happening in the next few months. Now, like highlighted on yesterday's video, you can see the Bitcoin dominance has been bounced a little bit from the support level that I've been talking about, that was previously support here and also here. So you can see it's been support recently here as well. So right now we're actually bouncing off of that support level, and it looks like we can actually start to see a downturn very soon, because previously every time Bitcoin dominance has topped, the bounces have been quite minimal. There hasn't been too many bounces. It's just been a few green candles before you resume the red candles towards the downside on a weekly time frame. So of course, this is exactly what I'm going to be expecting, and I do think that we're going to be continuing to move towards the downside very soon as Bitcoin finds some sort of resistance or some sort of slowdown as we're actually pumping. And when Bitcoin actually decides to slow down, this is going to actually allow the money to rotate into your altcoins, and we're going to be seeing the Bitcoin dominance actually move towards the downside. Now, looking at Ethereum, we can see that we've been breaking this trend line, and we're actually moving towards the upside, which is looking extremely good. We've been predicting on the channel that Ethereum is going to be breaking this bull flag towards the upside, and we're going to be seeing further price developments. And just yesterday, I talked about my trade on WEEX on Ethereum, and I said I'm going to be buying Ethereum, and you can see right now that our trade is actually printing, and we're actually 10% on profits already. And I took this only on a 3x leverage, and it's looking good right now. So Ethereum is actually pumping towards the upside, and you can see our other Ethereum trade is actually moving towards the upside too, and we're breaking this downsloping trend line, which is looking really good. So if you were listening as we bought the Ethereum bottom over there, then you will be up to about 50% in profits, which is looking extremely good. But you can see right now we're breaking out, and Ethereum is actually moving towards the upside, and there's still a chance for you guys to be trading on WEEX right now. You can be claiming your deposit bonus and be using that to be taking an Ethereum trade, because I do think that the train hasn't left the station just yet. We're only just breaking out, and we do have a target in and around $6,000 over there. So right now I think is a great time to be buying Ethereum within this region over here, because it looks like Ethereum is actually moving towards the upside quite aggressively. You can see over here that we've been bouncing from this level of support, which we've been talking about on the channel, and we've been moving towards the upside. We've also been talking about this right angled descending broadening wedge, and right now we're actually moving towards the upside, and you can see right there that Ethereum is moving towards its target. Now, we've been talking about Ethereum exactly at the bottom. You can see we circled the bottoms, and we said that in this bottom phase over here, Ethereum is actually going to be moving towards the upside, and as soon as we reclaim the range, we're going to be moving up, and that's exactly what's happened. So congratulations if you've been watching the channel, because you've been alerted right at the bottom when everyone was flipping bearish on Ethereum. We were bullish and we were buying, just like you can see over here. So I do expect Ethereum to actually continue towards the upside, and this is going to be the start phase of the rally, because as soon as we clear these highs over here in and around that $4,700 mark, I do think Ethereum is going to be moving towards the upside aggressively, especially if Bitcoin is going to be entering price discovery. And we can also see that Ethereum is actually going to be moving towards new all-time highs very soon, because we have our all-time highs not too far from where the price is now. So if we can actually clear our resistance level at 4,700 for Ethereum, I do think that we're going to be moving towards new all-time highs where Ethereum can be moving parabolic. And if we do see the Bitcoin dominance start to turn towards the downside, money's going to be flowing into Ethereum and we're going to be seeing it go a lot higher. For that longer term, we can see that this V bottom scenario is playing out for Ethereum also. We talked about the fact that we're actually retesting the V bottom when we were actually dumping, and you can see we're bouncing right now. So I do expect the train to leave the station very soon and for us to actually enter the parabolic phase just like we did last cycle. And of course, on our monthly time frame, we can see that the MACD has actually printed another bullish histogram tick. So you can see that right now the EMAs are still angled up and we're moving towards the upside. And I do expect in the coming months the strength on Ethereum is actually going to be extremely high. So I do expect that Bitcoin can potentially range and top out before Ethereum, and Ethereum can actually continue towards the upside near the ending phase of the cycle. So this is one thing that I'm going to be expecting, and you can see that the MACD is actually telling the same story. So that'll be it for me. Make sure to be following me on X to be staying up to date with all my updates here, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace, guys. See ya. Bye bye.